Do it now. Get out now. 5 seconds, bro. 5, 4. No, you're not putting your clothes on. You can leave like that.
You can't do it.
I don't care. You can't even block a ball for me.
Oh, Sin! Oh, the hurt, please.
So welcome to the next episode of Why I Don't Want a Man. I want to make a continuation of my previous video. I want to elaborate on it a little more, right? So I had did some research and I asked ChatGPT, what is the percentage, right? Pretty much of black women, you know, well, kind of women in general. I was just doing research of getting murdered, you know, by their husbands or significant others or someone that they had sex with, right? So out of all the women who died prematurely, right, almost 60% of their cause of death was because they got murdered by someone who they used to have sex with, right? So then I did more digging, more research, right? And I said, what about platonic friendships? Platonic friendships, right? In which there's a woman who's friends with a man and they're literally just friends, right? And the answer that I received was between 1 to 2%. So I ask you, right? So I have a degree in math, right? So I'm a more logical thinker. And I hope you are listening of a more logical thinker as well. So let's just pretend, right? We were playing a game in which your life was really on risk, right? At risk, right? Would you rather take the 60% chance of dying or the 1 to 2% chance of dying? Again, the almost 60% is women dying, being murdered from someone that they had sex with, or the 1% being murdered but just being friends. Wouldn't that make more sense to take the damn 1%? Hello? I don't want to die. I want to have life longevity as much as I can. So I'm good off the extra violence. To be honest, after really, really thinking about it, my male friends, I have very little male friends, but my male friends give me more than I ever, how can I explain it? Meaning like my male friend, like for example, I have a good male friend, right? Like this is my dude, right? Like for real, we've been friends for like years. So I had needed an investor. So I had asked to borrow like $7,000 and he gave it to me. Like he's the type of friend, if I'm ever in a jam, ever, he gives me money. He always offers like he always offers, right? He'd be like, do you need anything? Do you need anything?
That's the reason we came down here.
And I go, once in a while, I go, yeah. Because, like, this is my real friend. I'm not here to use people. Like I said, especially when you got it, you don't need to use people. You know what I'm saying? So, once in a blue moon, I'll be like, yeah, I need him. Like, I feel like I'm going to call him after I make this video. Because this is my guy, right? But most of the times, like I said, I'll be like, no, I'm good. Like, I got this. Whatever. Like, he holds me down. It was one time, like, I needed a place to stay. Because he bought a house in Florida, and his brother was living in it. Mind you, he's overseas. So he called his brother like, listen, my friend is coming over to stay for a little while. Boom, easy. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, my male friends are so much better than any man for real. So why the hell, why would I want a man when my male friends get like fill the void better than any man can? Why? Men don't really have anything to offer me. You understand what I'm saying? Men don't have anything to offer me. So why would I do that? Why? Wouldn't it make more sense for me to just have male friends? Like, if you really think about it. Instead of having sexual partners that 30 times increase the risk of me dying, to go from platonic to sexual intimate partner, increasing the risk 30 times of me dying, that's very drastic. So I'm really not interested. I'm not interested. I'm really not. I promise you, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm just not interested. Y'all are extremely violent. I'm sorry, especially black men, because in my community as a black woman, black men are not able to, because you know what I'm saying, they have to perceive themselves as like, you know, overly macho. It's because a lot of them are DL, so you have to, that's a whole nother topic for another day. And that's another reason why, you know, thank God, I'm gonna make this video, but thank God I take my time to get to know men, bro, before I sleep with them. Because if I was one of them quick who sleeps with people quick, like a lot of, like most women, I would have had slept with a DL man, bro. Because I'm gonna talk about this. This is gonna be another video in this why I don't want a man. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, I wouldn't end up, let me go back to the original subject, right? I do apologize. So at the end of the day, black men, they have to be perceived as like, oh, macho and super overly aggressive. Like, they don't have the right ideology of what masculinity really is. Because unfortunately, a lot of black men grow up with having no father figure in growing up in the household. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of them don't understand and don't really know how to model true masculinity. They only know how to mimic and mirror, you know, things that they see on television and on social media and, you know, things of that nature, right? So the black man, you know what I'm saying, he has to be perceived as, you know what I'm saying, like gangster, and you know what I'm saying, like this overly aggressive thing. You understand what I'm saying? And the inner reflects the outer. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, at the end of the day, like, you know, black men really have two emotions for real. One emotion is very nonchalant. You know, very nonchalant. Just straight through. No variation, just nonchalant. And the other one is anger. So those are the only two emotions. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, men can't show sadness. The black man, he's unable to. Like, he can't cry. You understand what I'm saying? He thinks that's a sign of weakness. You understand? So at the end of the day, if being with somebody, you understand what I'm saying? Like, men, black men can't even be happy. I remember one time I smiled at my ex-boyfriend, right? Because he was looking good, and it was a nice day outside. I was just really in the smiling mood. And of course, if I'm going to smile at my man, you did. So, like, I smiled at him, and he quickly smiled back. But once he realized he was smiling, he immediately put a straight face on and looked down. Like, what the fuck? You understand what I'm saying? Like, a lot of them don't even think that, like, you know, showing true happiness. Like, let's just say if they meet a girl that deep down inside they know they're hyped about, like inside, right? Like they're excited about this particular girl, right? What they gotta do, pretend and act nonchalant, right? They gotta act nonchalant, act cool. Oh, it's just nothing. Oh, it's nothing. But deep down inside, you know what I'm saying? They're hyped and shit. Like, oh, this could have been a girl, you know what I'm saying, that they've been looking at for a long time and been, you know, wanted to get her number for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? But they can't be like, yo, homie, or whatever. I finally got her number. Blah, blah, blah. Like, they can't show, like I said, only two emotions. So if I'm going to be, as a black woman, my immediate circle to be with is black men, right? So eventually, if a person can only show two emotions, anger and nonchalant, right? If they only have the capacity to show those only two emotions, eventually they anger, because you could be but nonchalant but for so long. You understand what I'm saying? That anger is going to come through eventually. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's a 100% fact that his anger is going to come through. So, and unfortunately, the black man's anger could potentially kill someone. You understand what I'm saying? A black man could kill someone just for stepping on his fucking sneakers. You understand? Again, the black man can lose his life potentially just for stepping on someone's sneakers. So if somebody could lose their life for something so little, like, imagine, just really imagine when things, you know what I'm saying? Like I even said, if you listen to the video right before this one, I gave a very touchy story time in which I was saying, long story short, I was with two friends. One of my friends, I can't recall the exact situation. I think she went to go find out if she was pregnant. So we went to the clinic. But my ex at the time was all in the business. Mind you, I was only gone for like 2-3 hours. So he's like, where were you? I'm like, oh, I'm with my friends. I said exactly their names and everything. Why? What happened? What you was doing? Da, 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 da. Asking questions like he's my father. See, the thing is, black men think they own you. And that's the reason, watch my video, my male friends keep me single, because there's one male friend that I have. I remember we were having a conversation. It's actually one of our last conversations. He was like, the reason why I call her my bitch is because she's my bitch. Like, that's mine. She belongs to me. That's my property. Like, they think that when y'all are together, subconsciously, listen, the red pill has destroyed these men, but I could care less, because like I said, my life is really, I'm happier. But anyways, so he ends up getting angry that I don't tell him the full story, One thing leads to another. There's a gun at my head. You understand what I'm saying? He pulls a fucking gun out on me because he gets himself angry because I don't want to tell him like I told you, I'm with these friends. I'm like, we went here because, let's call her E, because I was like, because my friend E, she had a situation. He want to know the exact situation. He want to know this, that. So he's angry, getting himself angrier. You know, I'm telling him I don't feel comfortable disclosing my friend's information, because at the end of the day, you have nothing to do with my friend's vagina. Let's keep it 100. So, like I said, one thing leads to another. He's screaming, gets to arguing at me and all this other shit, pulls out a gun to my fucking head. Right? So, I could have died. Right there. I could have died. What if he would have pulled the trigger? You know what I'm saying? He could have. And he probably would have if I didn't run out the house screaming and crying. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and that's just, I have other instances, violent instances with men getting themselves upset and literally blowing up and doing something ridiculous. But I'm gonna say these stories. So at the end of the day, like I said, most men are only able to have two emotions, right? So one can be nonchalant, but for so long, that anger, the only second emotion they have out of all the potential emotions that humans can actually express. It's like over 100 different emotions, but they can only, because this idea of masculinity is in this cage, it's in this box, they can only present two emotions: anger and nonchalantness. So why would I want to do something? Even like, let's just, like, it's rare that like I even get a man like something he wants, right? Like wanted for Christmas or something like that. Like he don't even be like excited. Like he can't even show he's excited or happy. You understand what I'm saying? You know, it's like low, like the happiness level is like low. It just be like, oh, thank you, I appreciate you. Nah, me, when somebody do something for me nice, oh, I act the fool. Because I'm really appreciative, like in real life. I'm very grateful. But yeah, so at the end of the day, I'm good. Like my life, I'm in such peace. I don't want my peace disturbed for no reason. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm okay. Especially like I said, men don't have anything to offer me. A romantic relationship. There's nothing. I'm sitting here really thinking like there's nothing a man can offer me. Nothing. But I appreciate you so much for tuning into this message. I wish you absolutely nothing but the best. And stay blessed. Spread love and kindness always. Namaste.